Hey folks, it's Kerry. I just watched a video on TikTok that said every company needs a story. So here's mine. I'm the owner of Custom Island Tours LLC in Waikiki. And the way we got started is I was street performing on the sidewalks in Waikiki. I would set up my telescope and let people look through the telescope at the planets and the moon and stuff like that. And I'd have a little tip jar on a little table. On average, I'd get about $1 a person who would look in the telescope. I'd show Jupiter and Saturn. You could see 4 of Jupiter's moons. You could see the stripes on Jupiter. You could see Saturn's rings. You could see a couple of Saturn's moons like Titan. And of course, the craters on the moon were amazing. As a matter of fact, you see a lot of Japanese girls that would look in the telescope, and I kind of learned some Japanese by doing this, by hearing the same words over and over again and then asking what they mean. But those Japanese girls would look in the telescope and then go, "Oh, sugoi, sugoi!" So sugoi means awesome. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing that. And then I had a laptop and I would scroll the pictures that I had taken because I'm kind of an amateur astrophotographer. And people were like, "Well, why don't you sell your photos?" I was like, all right. So I started selling my photos. Well, it turns out it's illegal to accept money for goods or services on the public sidewalk in Waikiki. And one night, the cops actually arrested me. They took my telescope and everything and locked it away, took me to jail. I had to call my girlfriend to come bail me out. And months later, I finally got my telescope back and went back out to the sidewalk and almost immediately got arrested again. I mean, there's lots of street performers in Waikiki, and they sell things, outright. I was doing it kind of following the unwritten rules of the street, that it's by donation, that you can't name a price. It's just a donation, whatever they'd like to give. And most commonly, they would give me $20 for the pictures. It was an 8x10 matted in an 11x14 mat. But yeah, so after getting arrested the second time for that, I was like, wow, I need to do something different. So I started a tour company. Man, it was a lot of paperwork. It took 3.5 months for it to get approved after I submitted the paperwork. But just getting the paperwork together was a lot, man. It's like that thick, and you have to submit like 5 copies. And so anyway, I started the tour as an astronomy tour business. I bought a 12-passenger van with some cargo space in the back. And I would take people up to the North Shore and set up the telescope and let people look through the telescope. And so I started January 1st of 2012. And by August, I started doing the Circle Island tours like we do now. I overheard some of the other tour guys. There's these guys that sell tours on the public sidewalk in Waikiki, despite the fact that it's illegal to do so, for the same reason that I got arrested for selling those photos. You're not allowed to peddle goods or services on the public sidewalk. But anyway, I overheard some of those guys saying, "Oh man, what am I going to do? I've got a tour tomorrow for 8 or 10 people, and my van only seats 6 people." And I overheard them, and I was like, "I've got a 12-passenger van." So I gave the tour, and then they started feeding me tours. And then not long after that, the day tours became my main tour instead of the astronomy tours. And little by little, the astronomy tours have kind of gone away. I've given one this year. It was just under a month ago, and we looked out. The weather was amazing. And that's a problem with the astronomy tours, is that there's a 50-50 chance that it'll be too cloudy, and the weather can change within an hour. The sun will go down, and the air will cool, and then a layer of clouds will form. So yeah, the astronomy tours got to be really iffy. But the day tours we do every day. Started out with one van, eventually bought another van, hired some guys to help, and I think the most I got up to was 7 vans. And so this time last year I had 7 vans. But last summer didn't go as well as the normal summers. And so in September, I sold 3 of the vans, and so we're down to 4 vans now, including my personal van, which is a 7-passenger Dodge Caravan. And yeah, this summer is even slower than last summer. And I'm talking about the numbers from the state website of the number of arrivals to Hawaii. I take the data from that website and I put it in an Excel file and I make a graph. And yeah, the number of arrivals to Hawaii this year is lower than last year, and last year was lower than our last normal year before COVID in 2019. So the tourism is going down, but we're still giving tours. This time last year I had 11 drivers. Now we're down to 2 drivers plus myself. So yeah, I don't want to get into the sob story, but we give tours of the island. You know, I've been doing this for 13 years now, since January of 2012. So I've learned a lot because I'm a photographer, and I would take pictures of things, and then whenever I would post them to Facebook, I would like to put a caption to tell people what it is. So I'd look it up, make a little blurb, and then post it to Facebook. So I learned a lot that way. So when I'm giving my tours and I'm driving and I'm like, oh, this is this kind of tree, it's from this area, because a lot of the trees in Hawaii are not originally from Hawaii. Like the monkey pod trees are from Central America, the banyan trees are from India and China, the shower trees, the rainbow shower trees are from India. So my tours are like, how do you know so much about plants? And I was like, well, I looked it up so that I would know, and over the past 13 years I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the history and culture of Hawaii and stuff too. So yeah, we do custom tours. They're private tours, and so you can customize them. We have a sample itinerary on the webpage, and so you can tell us where you want to go. When you book it online, there's a little block where you can enter in where you want to go, and then when the driver picks you up, he asks to go over the plan again with you. A lot of times, our bookings are like booked the day prior, and so when I pick them up and I ask them, so what do you guys want to do today? A lot of times they just say, well, we have no idea. You're the expert. Show us what you think. Or you know, they'll have 1 or 2 things. They'll be like, oh, we want to see the blowhole and Dole pineapple, and the rest is up to you. But yeah, so it's a custom tour, so you can customize it. You can tell us what you want to do, whether you want to spend more time at the beach or at the waterfall, or a lot of people say that they want to see plants, so we go to botanical gardens and stuff like that. But yeah, that's you know, the name of the company is Custom Island Tours. So the idea is that you can customize it, and they're private tours. Right now we have 2 7-passenger vans. With our 7-passenger vans, we take up to 5 customers, and then we have a 12-passenger van that can take up to 11 customers, and then a 15-passenger van which can take up to 14 customers. And the 12-passenger van does have cargo space in the back, so we can pick people up from the cruise ships with their luggage. We get a lot of them. The cruise ship comes in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and for some reason their flight off the island isn't until 8 o'clock at night. So we pick them and their luggage up at the cruise ship, give them a tour of the island, and then drop them and their luggage off at the airport. So it works out great. But otherwise, we're based here in Waikiki, and so we pick you up from your hotel directly from, it's a private tour, so we don't have you come to a meeting spot. We actually pick you up straight from your hotel at the valet area. And 8-hour tour. It's an 8-hour tour. If you want extra time, you can buy extra time, but 8-hour tour. And so yeah, you get to see pretty much the whole island, because the route is there's not a lot of choices with the routes. With these mountains, they go all the way to the North Shore, and so basically all you can do is go around it this way or around it in the other direction. There's only one place where you can cross the mountains. I mean, there's 3 roads, but they're all in practically the same place, parallel to each other. So the routes are kind of limited. So if you do the Circle Island tour, then you end up passing by all of the points of interest, whether you want to stop there or not. So you can say, oh, let's skip this one so we can spend more time somewhere else. But yeah, that's how I started. You know, started out as a street performer in Waikiki, and this was after I retired from the Navy. Did 20 years in the Navy as an aviation electronics technician. I worked on the black boxes for the airplanes. my last 4 years, I was on an aircraft carrier, the USS Nimitz. So I did 2 6-month deployments to the Persian Gulf. And when I was in my VP squadron, the P3 squadron here at Barbers Point in Hawaii, I did deployments to Alaska, 6 months in Japan, and 6 months in Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean. But yeah, so after retiring from the Navy, I came here. I worked for a year to establish residency. I went to Kapiolani Community College, got my associate's degree, started working on a higher degree, but then I was doing the street performing and I started this company, and my GI Bill ran out. The GI Bill didn't give enough for a 4-year degree, but I did get my associates. But now I've had this company for 13 years, and started from street performing in Waikiki. So that's my story.